Today we had the pleasure of having Bri Teresi join the Cove Network. Bri's a longtime model working with some of the top brands across the country, and she recently picked up golf not too long ago. But even more recently, she found herself fighting the new woke movement. When a biological male joined the lingerie company that she's worked with, she decided to stand up to it. She decided that was the last straw.
I was definitely surprised when Honey Birdette about 10 days ago decided to post this image of a biological male modeling women's lingerie. When I saw this, I was infuriated because I knew that a woman had been robbed of an opportunity and a job because of this.
Hello? Go, bro.
So sit back and relax and enjoy this episode with the beautiful Bri Teresi. Welcome back to another episode of the Davidka Report on the Cove Network. My name is David, I'm your host, and today we have a combination of some awesome different topics. We have everything from Trump's indictment, to golf, to entertainment, to a lingerie company being infiltrated by a biological male, and it's just a crazy different types of combinations of topics. It's various different topics, and because the reason we have all these different topics is because we have a really unique guest with us today. I've been following her for a while now, and it's been awesome to see her transition from just modeling to modeling in golf. And then all of a sudden, a few months ago, seeing her pop into politics. She's been making headlines all over the news, from the New York Post to the Fox News, everywhere. So I'm super excited to have her on. And of course, I'm talking about Bri. Bri, how are you doing today?
Hi, David. Thank you so much for having me today. It's great to be
Absolutely.
on. Oh, it's funny because my sister's boyfriend sends me your videos almost every day on Instagram. He's a big fan of you.
Seriously, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I've noticed my friends are telling me from across the country, like, hey, my buddies who have no idea who you are sending me your posts and everything. I'm like, there you go. The word is spreading around. That's awesome.
You're making big moves. Yeah, you got a great podcast going on. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, hey, thank you for coming on. And I know you're busy and everything, but especially you making headlines. So thank you for carving some time out to talk to us. Who are you? Give us a little bit about yourself. What's your background? How you got into all of this?
So my name's Bri Teresi. I'm originally from California. I moved out to Florida a few years ago during the whole COVID thing. So my background is, for the past 10 years, I have modeled professionally. And during COVID, I got into golf, and it just started off being a hobby. But then I kind of was able to figure out a way to monetize it. So I've been doing the whole golf thing, especially living in Florida. And recently, I'm still modeling and doing a lot of golf, but I've also been just feeling very passionate about standing up for what's right, standing up for the children, standing up for the truth. And, with that being done on social media, it's definitely been a little bit tricky, but I know I'm doing what God wants me to do. And it's been an interesting past few months, that is for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you for coming on, and thank you for that. And really excited to talk about all these different topics that we have, because it's like I said, it's a combination of different types of crazy topics, or not crazy topics, but various topics.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of fits exactly who you are, some golf, some modeling, some politics. So we got it all today. Real quickly, if you haven't yet, make sure you smash that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Make sure you follow all of our social media posts, whether it's Instagram or TikTok. Might be banned on TikTok, might not be banned on there. It changes every single day. But yeah, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Make sure you smash the like button and turn on those notifications so you can see more of these different types of podcasts that we got coming out, and all of our different types of videos. So let's get into some of the topics today. So Bri, obviously, like I said, I've watched you for several years, first into modeling. I kind of followed you on Instagram because of that. And then a couple of years back, I saw you get into golf, and I was getting into golf at the same time. And then a few months ago, I was like, whoa, what is she doing on Fox News? What is she doing on the New York Post? And you kind of just went viral all over the place. You literally made headlines everywhere. And every time I turned on the news, I'd see you. Twitter, I'd see you. All over the place, I'd see you. And I actually have a little headline from I believe it was the Daily Mail, where it says the Instagram star Bri Teresi breaks ties with lingerie firm Honey Birdette after bosses hired non-binary biological male model to promote its women's underwear. And so I kind of want to get that kind of what made you viral, kind of the lingerie company that you were working with. suddenly hired a biological male to be, promoting, the lingerie that women usually
Yeah.
wear, right? So what kind of, how did that all happen, and how did you learn about that?
Okay, so Honey Birdette is a really popular lingerie company, especially for like the LA models. They work with tons of influencers. So I had worked with them on social media for, I would say, like 3+ years, so quite some time. I really liked their lingerie. It's beautiful. It's really high quality. But then I saw one day on Instagram, I'm just scrolling through, and they had a straight up dude wearing like a full on lingerie set. It wasn't a transgender person. It wasn't, somebody that a male that at least like tried to look like a woman. No, it was a straight up man. And
Somebody that looks like me, right?
yeah, straight up man. And I looked at this, I'm like, this is just wrong. This is totally wrong. It's first of all disgusting, but also like this company claims to be created by women for women, yet they are just giving into the woke mob and they are putting a dude in their lingerie to sell lingerie. It made no sense. So I comment stuff on Instagram all the time. I troll on Instagram a lot.
I actually have one of your comments here from the New York Post where after you posted your awesome video where you took a AR and you shot a Bud Light, the tampons, the lingerie company that you were working with, and under that video you replied to somebody and you said tampons used a biological male to promote their tampons. Honey Birdette used a biological male to model their lingerie, and y'all know about Bud Light. So obviously you're pretty engaged in your comments about this as well. Why do you think this is suddenly happening? Why are women industries are being, infiltrated by these, trans women who are just biological males, essentially?
So I think it is a complicated question, but it's also very simple. We're seeing women not only be stripped of jobs and opportunities. I mean, Riley Green is a perfect example as a swimmer. The swimming has been completely infiltrated by men. LPGA has been infiltrated by men. They're taking away opportunities from women, but it goes deep down to, these companies getting funding from large companies that run the entire world. And if they don't have a good woke rating, if they aren't just like completely destroying their company, they won't get funding. You talked about this in video.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We saw that with Target. They don't have like a good woke rating. They won't get funding from BlackRock and Vanguard and all these companies. So it's a complicated question, but at the same time, it's like, it's so ridiculous. Why would a company want to destroy themselves in order to make a point? I don't even think they're trying to make a point. I feel like they're just trying to confuse the next population of people. They're obviously going after the children. We're seeing this with all the Pride events across the country. I sent you a couple videos yesterday. I mean, it's just disturbing.
It's absolutely gross.
Yeah. But I mean, I think they ultimately are trying to get rid of what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a man. They're trying to destroy, obviously, gender roles. Masculinity is seen as toxic. Women being mothers and taking care of their families, that's, embarrassing. Ew, why would you ever want to do that? So, they're trying to confuse in the next population and then, the next generation of people. It's truly sad.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes I think about it. They just want to strip anything away from you that it means to be an individual, a person. They want everybody to be the same, and that kind of is the basis for Marxism, communism, right? So I think you hit that on point. I also.
Oh, sorry.
What is it?
You even see that in fashion these days too. Women aren't wearing like as many dresses. They're wearing more unisex clothes. I was at the mall with my sister the other day, and all the pants are there. It's one thing you can dress modest and dress sexy and all that, but it's another thing to have pants that are so baggy that you don't even see that a woman has any curves. So
yeah, exactly.
To make one, it's nuts.
You see that in the fashion shows now. I mean, they're throwing on the craziest clothes. I get creativity and whatnot, but you don't see the real fashion anymore behind it. You did comment also that brands were robbing women of their work with its woke advertisement.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to be the impact to women after, this becomes normalized? Because it seems like we're on the path towards that, with women in every single sport being stripped of their rights to compete against their biological sex. Yeah, you see that in swimming, you see that in cycling. Just yesterday, a cyclist won by 5 minutes a marathon in North Carolina, and it was a pretty big thing. I'm pretty sure biological males are now getting into my childhood sport, the tennis. So it's happening all over the place in sports and modeling. With your example,
Yeah.
what do you think is going to be the impact to women with this?
Well, I mean, the impact, it's already happening. Obviously, women that have worked their entire lives in sports are losing out to men who just one day decide, "Hey, I want to play tennis. I want to play golf." Like, it's nuts. It makes no sense, but you know what? It's up to women taking a stand. We have social media. That's pretty powerful. Yeah, they're going to censor you, try and silence you, but if enough people stand up for what's right, they can't continue with this nonsense. Like, even I thought this was a little win for me. So I have a bunch of girlfriends on the LPGA that are incredible golfers, and one of them, she sent me that the LPGA changed their logo on Instagram to the alphabet people's flag. And when she sent it to me because she knew I would post about it. And so I saw, and I posted about it. I called them out on like every social media platform. The next day they actually changed it. That shows that one person can actually make a difference by calling out these super woke organizations that are literally trying to take away opportunities from women, trying to take away opportunities from men, trying to groom children. So, you know what? If enough of us take a stand, they can't go against us all.
You're absolutely right. And that actually lines us up with another good question. What advice would you give women that are kind of stuck in your position, who perhaps have a big exposure, have a big audience, and they understand maybe dipping into politics when this shouldn't be a political issue, but dipping into something that is political may impact them, may cause them to be canceled by the cancel culture. What advice can you give to these women that are just scared and are not comfortable with everything that's being pushed on them with these, alphabet people, and mainly biological males being in the same industry or competing against them, or making them feel uncomfortable because now they have to share the same bathroom with them? What advice can you give to these women so it's not just you or just a few of you that are standing up like you and Riley?
I mean, for me, I've always been very bold ever since I was a child. But take a stand and you will have people that will support you. There are so many of us that want to support like-minded people. I mean, that's how you and I have gotten in touch, because you obviously liked that I was taking a stand on all this. I've been able to meet so many people because when I did what I did, people were like, "I want to support you." So, I mean, for example, that baseball pitcher, I think, Anthony Bass, for example, he kind of took a stand and then he apologized. And then the MLB actually fired him after. But it's like, if he were to have taken a stand and like kept his stance, he would have had an entire army behind him. So you can't be scared. Also, like, fame, money, all that, that's temporary. At the end of the day, what matters is who you are, what you believe in, and like the impact you have. And trust me, like, you have a much stronger impact when you're standing up for what's good rather than just caring about what people think of you.
That's perfect. That's awesome. And I hope a lot of women take your advice, because I know a lot of them. The main thing that I've learned is that even more than half of the Democrats agree with us on these issues, on these topics. So it's really about repositioning how we see this issue and seeing that we're not the extreme ones. We're not the extreme ones that just want women to be safe in their space. And heck, this is what the women's movement was really all about, creating safety for women, no discrimination against women based on gender and everything. And it just feels like we're starting to go back in time now. So I really hope a lot of women, hear your story and, decide that even if they take a little loss, which for you it wasn't a loss, it just made you more exposure and more people saw you, even though that wasn't what you were wanting.
No.
You just wanted to take a stance against it. So I love it, Bri. And like you were saying, I noticed you doing that, taking a stance against it, and I was like, wow, thank you. I'm so glad to see somebody like that take a stance. So with us getting back in time, I think that perfectly gets us into another topic, which is, Trump's indictment.
Yeah.
And I know you're really passionate about Trump. That's kind of how I noticed you dipping into politics a little bit. And, before I get your opinion about like the Trump indictment and everything like that, to me, obviously, it's a phony indictment. When you look at it, when you read it, it's pretty messy. But I want to give you both positions on this, right? So we have former Trump's Attorney General Bill Barr saying that even if half of the things that are inside this indictment are true, he's toast, right? And he refers to this, the whole reason why this is happening is because he's kind of quoting that reckless conduct by the president. He's also mentioning that there's two big lies that are circling right now, that, all these other presidents have done this in the past. They've taken documents in the past. He's saying that that's a lie. And then he's also saying that the idea that the president has complete authority to declare any document personal is facially ridiculous, as saying that the president doesn't have, unilateral power to declassify stuff. On the other side of it, we have one of the 2024 Republican presidential candidates, Vivek Ramaswamy. I really like him. Talks really fast though. I think we kind of share that. But but he went on CNN and he actually gave a good rebuttal for this, both factual and then adding some legal precedent to it, saying that the facts don't fit the establishment's narrative and neither does the law. Saying that the prosecution of President Trump is likely unlawful under the Presidential Records Act. And just to give you a good idea about this Presidential Records Act, there was actually a 2012 federal court decision on the Clinton sock drawer case, which essentially a federal judge said that to segregate personal materials from the presidential record is made by the president during the president's term in his sole discretion. So basically, Vivek is saying that all of this there's hard judicial precedent. They've already ruled the fact that the president has the ability to declassify things. And then when we read the indictment, the central question, what it all revolves around, the authority of a president to declassify, material without going through the official committee that, the president delegated the power to. There's already a precedent for that. So what do you think? What is your opinion about this indictment now that you got both sides of it, essentially?
Okay. Well, first off, Barr's a rhino, and he worked with Papa Bush. So I think that says a lot. I think that's a lot. But I mean, it's crazy. It's once again, they're going after Trump because he is the only one they are actually scared of. I mean, we see it as a two-tier justice system. We see them literally trying to arrest a candidate who could totally destroy them. And I mean, they're trying to silence him. This is not a third world country. It's complete chaos. It's crazy. I mean, it's an embarrassment to our country, but I think it's hilarious. I mean, we have we have Hillary Clinton, all her emails. I mean, she even just made merch to literally mock people on Twitter. I don't know if you saw that post, but she has her email.
Her nice little hat, right?
Biden, who has thousands, like probably tens of thousands of boxes of documents scattered all across the country, some of them even in his garage in Delaware.
And he took them when he was vice president.
Oh, yes.
The vice president doesn't have unilateral power to declassify material.
But we're going after a president who is protected by the act you were just talking about, the President's Records Act, and who has full power under the Constitution to be able to declassify documents. But then, according to that act, he doesn't even have to declassify. He has a few documents. Also, I think in that interview you sent me, it was funny because they were talking about, these documents weren't locked up properly. So I don't know about you, but I've been to MarALago quite a few times. It is very difficult to get into MarALago. I mean, the whole place is gated. It's guarded. If they were at MarALago, I'm pretty sure those documents were totally fine.
Definitely more secure than being in the garage next to a Corvette, right? Nor in Chinatown.
Yeah.
Actually, real quickly, you said you've been to MarALago a couple times. This just popped into my head. We know Trump really loves McDonald's. Is there a McDonald's in MarALago?
No. A couple events where he did bring McDonald's to, though.
I bet. I bet. Well, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I've seen how secured MarALago is. I mean, it's like a White House, right? Or it's like the archive center where they
I
do store all of these documents.
I just thought that
It's
was
really secure.
like that they even would add that. Like it's ridiculous. Yeah. But I mean, I think ultimately what's the most important is okay, what documents does Trump have? I mean, he obviously has a bunch of stuff on these people. I mean, these people are all part of the deep state, and I can't wait till he exposes each and every one of these people. And we know that's what he's going to do in 2024.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you mentioned a two-tier system? Do you think we see one where they go after Trump because of classified documents, and at the same time we have a sitting president who took documents when he was vice president?
Yeah.
Same exact thing. So, do you think that there's essentially this two-tier system where Democrats get treated one way and Republicans get treated one way?
Of course. And you know what I think right now is really important is we are finally at a time where now, you know, regardless if you like Trump or not, if you're a Democrat or liberal, people are kind of waking up and they're like, okay, wait, this is very interesting. We have Obama, we have Bush, we have Hillary Clinton, we have Biden that have all taken documents. But why is Trump the one who is being indicted over this? Why have they always tried to impeach him? Why are they attacking this guy?
Do you think Democrats are going to regret setting this precedent? Maybe kind of a good phrase is opening up this Pandora box, because like we're saying, you know, all these, if you're going to prosecute one president for this kind of silly stuff, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's not that he broke a law. Perhaps there was some bad judgment. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. We don't know. But he didn't break any law. But they're trying to frame it as he has, and by doing so, they're incriminating everybody else that they love so much, whether it's Obama, whether it's the Clintons, you know. So do you think the Democrats will eventually regret opening up this Pandora box?
100%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't want to sound like some tinfoil hat person, but I think this is all part of the plan. You know, you can't expose all the rats unless you take steps and you are being very, very strategic. And I think this is definitely going to lead to a lot of arrests.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I bet. So while we're like on this topic with Trump and everything, let's take an outlook onto 2024. So I know you're a diehard fan of Trump, but as you mentioned, you also were, or are you still a resident of Florida?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously you've enjoyed all the great things that Governor DeSantis brought to the state, you know, everything from fighting the COVID draconian rules to fighting the woke stuff, signing great stuff into legislation and whatnot. So how would you, first of all, for you, who is it between Trump and DeSantis, and how are you making this conclusion, knowing that this is your governor versus this is, you know, president that you probably voted for twice already? Yeah. So kind of what's up with that?
DeSantis, I mean, obviously I relocated from California to Florida during the pandemic, and I was very thankful to live in the state of Florida, and I am very thankful to live there. However, I will not be voting for Ron DeSantis. And I think there has especially been a lot of information that has come out recently that is very concerning, especially regarding his campaign. So first of all, obviously, Ron DeSantis, you know, he says he is against giving puberty blockers to children, yet he is taking money from lobbyists that are now working as part of his campaign. So lobbyists for some of these very, very disturbing companies. He's also working with this guy who is a Moderna lobbyist. So, I mean, all these people are now a part of his campaign, and some of them are even linked to the CCP, which is obviously very concerning. So it's like, okay, you say you are against the establishment, yet you are working with people who are all part of the establishment, and you are backed now by, you know, some really terrible politicians. We have Jeb Bush, Paul Ryan. Why are these people supporting you? So clearly he is part of the establishment. It's really sad. I didn't think that for a while, but facts are facts.
What would you say to somebody that says, what about Trump? Wasn't he, you know, you mentioned Bill Barr, right? He was kind of surrounded by establishment figures. He had to kind of learn the hard way. Do you think DeSantis is kind of having to learn the hard way
He's taking donations from, he's taking millions of dollars of donations from these very, very corrupt individuals. I don't think it's comparable. Yeah, with Bill, obviously,
Absolutely.
Barr was the attorney general. But I think that's a little bit different. He can't get rid of everyone initially, you know. But to be taken,
Do you think that if Trump comes back into the office in 2024, that he's going to reposition himself a
yes,
little bit differently so he doesn't have to go through that stuff?
yes. But also, what I do think
Very
is
good.
really interesting too is I think it was like 2017 or 2018. Trump signed over something that was talking about pretty much how people who are taking money from foreign governments for their election campaigns will be, how they will pretty much lose everything completely. I don't remember. I would have to look it up. But
Oh yeah, I remember that
yes,
the executive order he signed.
I think that's really interesting. I mean, and clearly DeSantis, I think like is taking money from the CCP. He's working with people that are affiliated with it. You can follow the paper trail. I'll send you some links to stuff after, but it's
I think I remember you sending me a couple things about his campaign managers, his
yeah,
campaign staff, and everything like that. Yeah, I'm in this kind of in the middle of the boat there
yeah,
because I love Trump a lot and I really enjoy what DeSantis offers, and I haven't made my
yeah.
decision yet, so that's why I'm
I
kind of
believe
getting
I
everybody's
believe
opinion and
that
everything.
if the establishment is backing DeSantis and they aren't scared of him, why? Why is the deep state? Why are all these rhinos? Why are they all on DeSantis's side? Why? Like that doesn't make sense to me. But another thing too is just like as an ethical thing. I think I also sent you this yesterday. DeSantis is knowingly using deep fakes of Trump, embracing Fauci.
Yeah,
In
that's
videos. I mean,
see, and
that's wrong.
that's things that throw me off, right? It's like I understand that there's an internal war to get this nomination,
Yeah.
but your enemies aren't, your Republican candidates. It's
No. Yeah.
it's these progressives. So
Yeah, but I
yeah,
that was
it's
very,
messy.
very low. Very, very low. And then some people will argue, well, maybe he didn't know. It's like, well, he knows now and he didn't come out and apologize.
What do you think about just DeSantis kind of taking a stand behind Trump when about this phony indictment? He kind of backing him up. Some
He
of
was
these
quick.
rhino establishment candidates did come out and,
Mhm.
use that as an opportunity to kind of destroy Trump, right? I saw Asa Hutchinson come out and kind of, use that against Trump, right? But we have DeSantis, Vivek, they kind of are lining up against, are lining up with
Yeah.
Trump. Do you think that they still recognize who the true, enemy is?
Yeah. So Vivek, first of all, I think he's amazing. I'd love to see him part of the Trump administration when Trump is president in 2024. But DeSantis, I think he knew like if he didn't do this, if he didn't come and make a statement, it would look just even worse. Because I mean, before it took him like how long? I don't know. It was like several days. So I think
Yeah,
he had to do what he had to do. But I don't know, it
absolutely.
leaves me with a bad taste. I know a lot about him too. I've heard from friends that have like worked for DeSantis and now are part of like the Trump administration. He's just not a good.
Oh, so the details.
I,
um,
like,
Let me ask you this. Would you want to see potentially Trump and DeSantis go together
no,
on a ticket? Let's say, no,
Trump is
you would.
not part of the establishment. DeSantis is, and he's shown his true colors.
Okay. Who would you like a preferred candidate for vice president
Okay, so I was talking to my mom
for?
about this yesterday, and this might sound a little bit, I don't know. I think Kash Patel would actually make a pretty good VP.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting. You did a lot of great work with
yeah,
Representative Devin Nunes, helping expose a lot of the deep state corruption that's
yeah.
going on, the weaponization of
I've
government.
met Kash a few times. Great guy too.
He does he help with Truth Social, or is he part of Trump's kind of like inner circle?
Both.
What is both?
Yeah.
Both. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, well, I mean, hey, I got your perspective on it, and I think that's going to convince a lot of folks on here and whatnot. Because as we're getting into this political cycle, personally, myself, I want to keep an open mind just to
Or
allow everybody to come on here and tell us, convince us why we should go for one candidate over the other. So I appreciate that, and I don't hope you don't mind me challenging you a little
oh
bit
no,
there, because I challenge everybody,
gotta have some.
even those who are pro DeSantis,
Yeah.
pro Vivek, pro what's her name? The former U.S. ambassador, Nikki
Oh
Haley. I
my
mean,
god.
I challenge everybody,
Yeah.
regardless what they do. So I want to get into something a little bit more entertaining and golf, essentially, right? So obviously, I'm a big golfer myself. I played tennis my whole life. Got into golf a few years ago because of COVID. I'm guessing you got into golf too because COVID was going on.
Mine,
Nothing really
mine,
to do besides go
mine
golf.
was because of modeling, actually.
Because of
Yeah.
modeling. Okay, so yeah, tell us how you got into golf. That's kind of my first question.
So it was actually pretty random. I was back in Northern California during COVID, the first part of COVID, and a photographer in my area was like, we should do a golf shoot. And I was like, oh, that's kind of odd, but sure. Well, I don't have anything else to do. So we took some golf pictures. I put them on Instagram, and this famous boxer named Canelo, I guess, saw the images, and he wanted me to be a part of a TV show he was working on that was golf related. So then I had to start taking golf lessons, and I was part of this, like, I think it was like a Mexican show. And yeah, it was show, and I met a few really cool people, and that was pretty much how I got into golf. And then after that, I really liked it, and I wanted to continue on my golf journey. I started seeing some success with it, and that was pretty much how it all started. So it was kind of crazy, but
That's
very,
awesome. That's
and
awesome.
golf has completely changed my life. So I love it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you take it pretty seriously now?
Yeah.
Is it just
I practice a lot. I mean, I have a really amazing coach, Rick Smith, who was actually Phil Mickelson's coach. I train with him when I'm in Florida.
Ooh.
And yeah, I take golf very seriously.
This is kind of a random question. So a lot of people that get into golf and they fall in love with it, and they just go out and play the course all the time. They never go to the range. They never take lessons. They're kind of like, I'll do this by myself. Yeah. Do you think that there's any benefit from kind of going to the range or kind of having a coach to kind of help you out with that kind of?
I mean, to assume you're an expert in something, I don't think is like if I were just to like not know how to golf and then just be like, oh, I'm just gonna learn. I mean, there's right ways to do it. Golf is really difficult, so I always go into it like I am not a professional. I am not an expert. I want to be able to get lessons, and I mean, even Tiger Woods, I mean, he still works with a coach. I think
yeah, exactly.
A coach for sure. You're learning the right way too. I mean, ever since I started working with Rick too, like the progress became so much more visible.
I have to say, I noticed. So I saw you at your beginning of your journey, and then I noticed you were taking some lessons, and then like, boom, it was like a switch. I was like, okay, this girl is having fun out there. Yeah. What tee boxes do you play from? The women's tee, or is that like so I hate calling it the women's tee. I don't know. It's like all the colors switch all the time.
So you have like the front women's tee. I'll play from the second one or the third. I
cool.
We're pretty far, so I have like on my clubs.
What clubs do you use?
So I have a mix between TaylorMade and some Callaway.
Cool. Yeah. I'm a TaylorMade boy myself. I love the Sim 2s. They're so forgiving. You miss the spot, it's no problem.
Yeah.
So let's get into some interesting things. What's some cool people that you've played with, if you can share with us? Anybody like special? Any PGA players? Any celebrities? You didn't mention the boxer. Yeah. Anything else?
So that's actually how I was able to meet President Trump, playing at his clubs, which was really, really amazing. I mean, looking up to someone so much and then being able to be in the same room with them, it was pretty amazing. So I've gotten to
that's incredible.
Times, yeah, and been able to meet him. And then my golf coach actually has worked with Trump, so because he teaches out of Trump Durrell in Miami. So we have been able to ride around and went while Trump played 18 holes, which was pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Nicholas, which was obviously amazing at Bears Club. It was actually when I first really started playing golf. I remember I was at the range and I'm just like shanking ball after ball, and he's just watching me. It was humiliating. But yeah, I've met a bunch of people. It's been pretty cool. But obviously, those would be like probably the two most famous people.
Oh yeah. Any crazy experience on the course or anything wild that's happened so far? Somebody was like, "Oh my God, that's Bri," and just tackled you or something like that.
I get recognized on golf courses a lot, for sure. This is actually kind of funny. So this happened recently. It was actually funny who I was playing golf with when this happened. So I got there early to the range, and I had my golf cart, whatever, and a man literally just like put his golf clubs in my cart. And I go back to the cart and I'm like, like, what are you doing? Like, get your clubs out of my cart. And I'm like, whose clubs are these? Like, because he wasn't standing right there. And people are like, wow, that guy's so bold, or something like that. No, but
He's like, I'm playing with Bri
what was
today.
hilarious was, so I'm like, get your clubs out of my cart. What was hilarious is, like, 5 minutes later, the guy who I was playing with was actually like an MMA fighter, like real champion. And I told him, and he's like, I tell him what's up, like, type of thing. And
Hey, smart way to,
I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, the day that a man like does that, I'm actually with somebody that could like beat the shit out of him.
That's funny. I want your opinion, obviously, about this whole PGA and Live merge. It was so funny watching, PGA officials call out the Live so long. They've been coming out to all these different higher ups saying, hey, they take this is Saudi Arabian money. They're involved with the 9/11 and everything like that. And then one day I open up my phone, it's PGA and Live merged. And it's like, whoa, yeah. Everything that they've said, everything that happened just went right out the door. I had a funny conspiracy that I told my friends. I'm like, what if all of this was just made to make, golf even more exposure, like just bring more drama into golf? Because now it seems like more people are paying attention to golf than ever before. Also, another conspiracy I had, which could not be a conspiracy, but the DOJ was pressuring the PGA for their anti-monopoly laws that they were violating and whatnot. So maybe they just were like, hey, let's skip all these fines, all this drama, and just merge with the Live. What do you think about them merging?
The second theory is accurate. The first one, I don't think so, but the second one for sure. So, I mean, obviously they were, there was litigations going on. They were breaking laws. You can't monopolize something. So they were dealing with that. Also, PGA Tour claims to be a nonprofit. It is clearly for profit. And so I think they were having, they were in some deep trouble. I really believe in. The Live became very popular. Obviously, they had like $700 billion in, what is it? The public, what is the name of it? Public Financial Fund or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. The public's fund for it. Yep. It was crazy. It was a lot of money.
Yeah, whatever's affiliated with the Live Tour. So they have all of that. And I think they had to give in. I think it would have destroyed the PGA Tour if they didn't. But what I do think is actually really sad is, well, it's not necessarily sad. In life you have choices, and clearly these people made the wrong choice. Players that were offered obviously like a ridiculous amount of money who didn't take these offers and now are kind of like, oh shoot. But the people that were telling me not to take the money now just like took the money. So it's interesting. I do think it's really good for the world of golf, though, like you were saying. It's going to be a lot bigger. There's going to be some really healthy competition, and it's going to unify golf. So I do think that's positive. But I do think it's going to be interesting to see what happens to like Jay Monahan, the PGA Tour commissioner. I feel like he's going to be like completely fired probably pretty soon. And I think Liv is probably just going to like completely take over. Rory, it's going to.
Have you been to a Live event?
Yes, I have. And I'm actually going to one in a couple weeks in Spain.
Oh, that's going to be fun. And you've obviously been to a PGA event, right? And the difference?
I mean, way more fun at Live. Way more. More relaxed. Even my friends that I played in like pro-ams for PGA or pro-ams for the Live Tour, everyone likes Live more, except for stuffy old people.
I hear that. It's like my friends who their like parents are like, let's say 70 years old and have been playing golf their whole entire life are so anti-Live. And I'm like, come on, just be a little open-minded. Yeah. But I get it. It's the tradition of it and everything like that. I wanted to kind of mention this real quickly before Donald Trump, he tweeted this, like, what is this, mid-2022? All of those golfers that remain loyal to the very disloyal PGA in all of its different forms will pay a big price when the inevitable merger with Live comes. And that obviously happened. And that's exactly what you were talking about with all these, so many people like Rory, Tiger Woods were offered crazy amount of money.
Rory was not offered money.
Rory wasn't offered money. Never mind. So I know Tiger Woods was offered like $800.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So just I guess one last question that I have for you about, the whole golf and everything like that. Or I guess not last question, but it'll just get us into an interesting topic here. You obviously come around a lot of celebrities, and you see a lot of celebrities when it comes down to these golf events and just you being in modeling and whatnot. Have you noticed any shift in just celebrities, what they're doing today? Like, for example, their attitudes, what they're flashing. I mean, it doesn't seem like the celebrities that I grew up
Yeah.
on are there anymore. So I know we kind of talked about Megan Fox, and you kind of tweeted or posted a picture on Instagram of her and her 4 boys who are just all dressed up as girls. Why are they doing this all of a sudden? I mean, these are celebrities who go out and try and show people that they're role models and whatnot.
So
what do you
first
think?
of all, celebrities are not role models. I think that's one of the best. Yeah,
Perfect.
they aren't role models. Megan Fox is not a role model. I think it's truly disturbing that she's dressing her 3 boys as girls. I think it's very sad, and no shame to her children. Obviously, this is probably not them wanting to do that. It's probably the mother virtue signaling. We see that as a very common thing for these celebrities, but these celebrities, I don't want to sound like, once again, like a tinfoil hat person, but they are part of very, very dark stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's open about like practicing witchcraft and all of that. So I'll leave you with that. I don't want to get too much into it, but these people are not good people. But I will say this, because you did ask me if I have seen like a shift in celebrities. I have seen a shift in some of my friends that are celebrities that used to be very, very liberal and now are becoming red-pilled. And I do think that is a positive shift, obviously. These people aren't A-list celebrities. I'd say like they're B-list celebrities. They're still prominent figures, but it's not the Megan Foxes of the world. But I do find that interesting. We're seeing people becoming awake. These people, used to support BLM. They used to be all for like the COVID vaccines, all of this. And now they're kind of like, wait, this was all a lie. So I think that is a positive shift, obviously, for the celebrities and all of that. But the people that are at the top, the very, very top, those people are very, very bad and controlled by people. And I don't see them as role models.
I like that. Yeah, no, that's perfect. Bri, thank you so much. That kind of does it for us today. You covered everything for us. I mean, obviously you gave us perfect perspective on the 2024 election, got your opinion about the Trump indictment, seeing how you got into golf. And we didn't get to talk about it, but I love your kind of logo golf, or make golf sexy again. I think you got that on point, because I mean, with the live and everything like that, that is perfect. So, and thank you for fighting this, this crazy kind of cultural war, whatever war we're in, against, protecting women's rights. I can't believe that in 2023 we're this.
It's a spiritual war.
A spiritual war. There you go. We always talk about it, that these very overly progressive individuals seems like they're just inventing a new religion for themselves. They're writing what it means to be an individual, a woman, a man, and everything like that. So I think spiritual war is exactly it. Is there anything else you want to leave us with? Anything you want to say? Do you want to promote your social medias or anything like that?
I will be launching merch very soon, which I'm really excited about. It should actually come out probably Tuesday, so tomorrow. And I'm really excited about it. It's only made for women. The second line will be for men as well, but this is for biological women. So check that out. I'm pretty sure the Instagram is Teresi's store. I'll be doing a collab post on my page, but if you want to check that out and support me, it would mean a lot. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. And thank you for fighting this huge war, because you're doing a great job and you're making a big impact.
Thank you, Bri. Thank you. It's the least I can do. I'm just here with a mic. You guys are the ones that are actually experiencing everything. And but no, thank you so much, Bri. And before we get off of here, if you guys love these type of podcasts, you love our videos and everything like that, make sure that you smash that subscribe button, turn the notifications on so you never miss one of our videos and anything like that. And please go follow our social medias, especially Instagram, Cove_network_podcast. Actually, we just changed it to the_network_podcast. So yeah, that is it. And thank you so much, Bri. I appreciate it.
Bye.